friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name's Cece, and today we're doing my Three Times a Charm project. This is a project I do in collaboration with a few other YouTubers, namely Andy from the channel Andy Does Stuff, Laura, who is Laura the Bargain Hunter, and Ash from Makeup and Chaos. So the goal of this project is pretty simple. It's a project three uses. We pick items from our collection that we're unsure about. Either we've never used them before, maybe we used it once and we didn't like it, maybe it's been sitting around for a long time and we're just not sure about it. Essentially, as Andy likes to say, these items are on the chopping block. So they're not things we think we love, they're not things we are sure we hate, but we want to decide if we're going to keep them in our collection or not. So the way I have this project set up for myself, I choose 5 items every month to work through. If I don't finish the 3 uses in that month, they can roll over, but if I hit 3 months and they're still in the project, they need to leave my life, because if I cannot force myself to use it in 3 months, I probably don't want to. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you what I had in the project last month and what I'll be bringing in this month. So last month, I had 2 rollovers from July. The first one is this Jelly Pong Pong Morningstar Highlighter Quad. These are cream highlights, and this was a gift from my friend Mary Catherine Loves Cats. There are 4 different shades in here that I wasn't sure I'd love. I had used only one of these last update, and I believe it was this rose gold. Since then, I have used this blue, which is called foiled, and this copper called raised. I did not think that I was going to make this decision, but I am keeping this. This shade down here, the foiled shade, I put this on with a cool toned look one day, and I don't know what it was. It just worked. It just was what I needed with that look. I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the copper, which I actually have on today, and it is more subtle than I thought it would be. I don't quite remember what I thought of the rose gold. I have not tried the deeper purple up top, but I will be keeping this and playing with it a little more in the coming months. So I am happy that it'll be rolling out of the project, but staying for more uses. The second rollover I had from July is this IBY Duo. There are 2 shades in here. That's why they call it a duo. They are the shades Bon Voyage and Auberge, and I'm tired of saying that in these updates. Prior to this update, I had only used this once. As of today, I've used it twice, but I decided that was enough. I hate it. I do not like it. I don't hate it, but it's not worth keeping around with as many other eyeshadows as I have in my collection, which is over 2,000 pans of eyeshadow. I don't need this. When I wore it this past month, by the end of the day, it wasn't there. There was no pigment. It faded away, and it's not exciting in the first place. Like, there's just something about this coppery shade that's like not quite right to me. So I have decided that I am getting rid of this. It will likely go to my nieces, who will enjoy it, hopefully, or to my sister, but it is leaving my collection. Next up was a fragrance I wanted to try out. I got this as a gift with purchase from Ulta. It is the Clean Classic fragrance in the shade Warm Cotton. It's a roller ball. I had tried it on my wrist just once, very, very lightly, prior to last month. I did get all 3 uses in on this, and this is a fragrance that I can tolerate, and I'm surprised. I can deal with this for a whole day with a little bit more on than that prior usage. So this will be sticking around and probably will go into another project in the next year. Next up is the KVD Good Apple Foundation. As I mentioned when I brought this in last month, it's very light and very full coverage. I don't wear foundation on a daily basis, so when I do put on something that's full coverage, I feel weird. I feel, I don't know, like a blank sheet. And since this shade was a little lighter than I need, this is the 004. I feel like 006 or 008, if those are numbers they have, somewhere in there would be more appropriate for my skin tone. Anyway, I decided, why don't I try this out as a concealer since it is full coverage and it's a little light. And I managed to get my 3 uses in, and you know what? I actually like it in that context. It stayed on well enough when I used it as an under eye concealer. I didn't notice much difference as like a spots concealer for other places because those generally wipe off during the day because I don't pay attention very much. So yeah, I am going to keep this around. I do have other concealers that I use, but why waste this when I can get some more use out of it in a different context? Might as well. And my last product from last month. Oh boy. I just keep making this mistake. And isn't that the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? Yeah. I pulled in a lip stain last month, and as I keep telling y'all, when I have Invisalign, I don't like to wear lip colors. I can do a tinted balm, I can do, like a shimmer gloss, but if it has a lot of tint, I don't want to do it. Guess who's back in Invisalign, which I knew was going to happen. I am not going to put a lip stain on when I have these because I don't want to stain them. So once again, just like last month, I will be rolling this out without making the determination if I want to keep it or not, because I haven't used it once and I'm not going to next month. So yeah, another failure, that's okay. That is all 5 items. They are all rolling out. 1 to leave my collection, 4 to stay. So that's not bad. I am happy to be able to get rid of the things that I know I'm not going to enjoy, but keep things that I can keep working on and making work for me. That being said, let's get into what I'm rolling in for this month. Okay, first up, this is probably the most exciting one. Y'all know I have a Poshmark account. I actually had this item listed. It wasn't going anywhere. Nobody was interested. And I kind of still wanted it. There's a few items that I have put on my Poshmark and then been like, do I really want to sell that? And sometimes they do end up selling and then I regret it. So I decided to pull this one down. This is the Natasha Denona Cupid Cheek Duo. I got this in Ipsy and I thought it was too deep for me, but you all did comment at the time that it's not as deep as it looks. So because of FOMO, I have decided I'm going to keep this and I'm putting it in this project so that it's not something sitting in my collection unused. So I'm kind of excited because Natasha Denona face products usually are pretty nice from the few I have tried so far. And I do think that I'll be able to make that blush work. I've been doing a lot better with deeper blushes and figuring out how they work for me. So, alrighty, I'm excited. Next up is another face product. So I have this little itty bitty Ciate London Palm Island powder bronzer. And this is something like normally I'd be like, oh, I can't touch that because it has an imprint. It's not the greatest imprint. It's stars, but they're not very sharp. And it's not something is it even stars? I don't think it's stars. I think it is flowers, like cherry blossoms almost. If you have this, tell me what they are. but they're not something that I need to keep. They're not that exciting that I cannot mess up this imprint. I have decided. And I'm not a huge fan of Ciate London's formulas in general, so I do want to find out whether this is something I need to keep around or not. Because it's not something I need to keep from a collector standpoint. So, is it something I actually want to use? I'd like to know. Next up is a new eyeshadow duo. Okay, not new, but to this project. This is from Shades by Shan. Got this in an Ipsy something. Don't know if it was one of my glam bags or if it was a mystery bag. The shades are Mommy and Hexed. And I feel like I may have used this once before, but when I look at it, it just looks swatched, especially the matte shade. It just looks like I swiped a finger down it. Um, which I could have done after using it, but I'm not sure. So I do think I will definitely like the matte shade. The thing about the shimmer shade is it's not quite peach and it's not quite pink. It is somewhere in between. On screen, I'm not seeing much of the pink, but in person, that's pretty much all I see in the light. Um, and I'm not sure about it. I don't even know if I like the formula. So we're going to try it out this month. Alrighty, in the last two items, don't laugh too hard, but they're lip products. But this one from Sugar Rush, which is a Tarte sub brand, this is the Best Bud Lip Butter Balm. No tint. It smells like burnt sugar cookies. I don't know. It smells very sweet. I think I've tried it once or twice in the past, and I'm not a huge fan of super sweet. So it's been sitting around for several years. This may have been one of my first makeup purchases in 2020, which means I used it in 2020 and threw it in a drawer, and here we are now. So I need to decide if this is something I need to keep in my life or not. If I don't keep the product itself, I may clean this out and use it as a container for, other purposes, for depotting things, for holding broken things. That is yet to be seen because I need to know if it's something I will use or not. And next up is from Trustique. This is another lip balm. This one is tinted. The shade is Nicaragua Nude. I'm not sure what that means. When I bought it, I thought it was untinted. But yeah, that's somewhat tinted. It looks like a shade that will wash me out and give me that zombie lip look. So I've been on the fence about actually using this for so long. I need to buckle down and actually give it those 3 uses and see if it's something I can handle keeping or getting rid of. So that's it. Those are my updates. Those are my 5 new items I'm rolling in. Wish me luck. I have decided I'm only going to do this project through November. So in December, I will do an update just showing you my progress for whatever products I have in November. But I will not roll anything new in December. I will be rethinking how I do this project for 2025. It's not going away. It is up to the other ladies in the project if they want to continue their videos. But for me, I'll be keeping it. I will be doing something a little different next year though. So just be aware that's coming up, and I am thinking very hard about all my projects for next year because I can't live in the present. I just need to continue planning what is coming up next. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate you being here. I know my videos are sporadic at best at this point, but I do try to keep up with this one, especially because I do it in collaboration with others. I do really want to be doing better, and I have other videos filmed that I need to get up for you guys. So encourage me to keep up with things. If we're friends on Instagram, send me a message. Be like, hey, why aren't you editing your video tonight? That would help me out, honestly. A lot of the problem is I'm so focused on planning for next year and building up my inventory spreadsheets with all of the products that, have been sitting around uncounted and unaccounted for 4 years, that it is occupying a huge amount of my brain. And I want to get back to actually doing rather than just planning and counting and typing. So, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you did enjoy the video, please let me know by leaving me some comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, you can always subscribe to my channel. And do not forget to check out my friends and their videos when they are up. Thank you again. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.